Hello and welcome back to my channel once again. And in today's video I'm going to be taking you through how to find null values in SQL or in SQL. Alright, and so if there's something that you enjoy, follow me as I take you through this short video. Alright, so what are null values? Okay, so null values are values so null values are simply columns with no values. Let me say that again. So null values are columns with no values. All right. Now there's a difference between having 0 in a column and having nothing in a column. And so in Excel, you have something like the cells are blank. So blank cells. All right. And so those blank cells, that is what is referred to as null values because there are no items in that particular cell. Now I'm repeating it. If there's an item in that particular cell, 0 dash underscore what have you, that cell isn't a null cell. All right, that cell isn't a null cell. A null cell or a null bracket, column, whatever you have, all right, is when there's no item. There's practically no item in that particular column. And so in this regard, when you look at this data set, you can see this is saying now. Now SQL will write now, all right, in the brackets that have no items in them. But this doesn't mean there's an item. This doesn't mean because you are seeing NULL there's an item. This is how SQL represents brackets or columns with no values. Unlike in Excel where you will see they are blank rows or columns, there's nothing in there. SQL will fill it, but to fill it with NULL. And so in Power BI as well, you realize that sometimes you fill it with NULL. They are nulls. It simply means that there are no items in that particular column. I need you to understand this, all right? So that when you open your SQL, database and you see something like this, you don't assume they are items. These are not items. You will never open a SQL database and find blank, like blank. There's nothing in there. Whenever it's blank, you always find it as null. And what it simply means is that there are no items in there, all right? And so there are times that probably your manager, so I went for an interview, and your manager wants you to, fill in those null spaces, all right? Or perhaps you want to check and see if those null values, you can actually replace them with, we can do some data inputting, all right, in that particular columns, okay? And so you want to check those columns, all right? See why they are now, see if you can just replace them with some figures or items that have perhaps happened or you filled in previous columns already. All right, so you want to find the null value. So how do you now recognize null values, all right, in SQL? And that's what I'm taking you to. So how do you recognize null values in SQL? And so in this particular case, it's easier to just see because you can see right off the bat that they are now or you can see them right off the bat. But in columns like this, or in this, or in this, or in this, or in this, where you can't see them, do you have to just scroll all the way searching for columns with null value? That is going to take a whole lot of time, especially if there are so many rows, all right, or there are so many items. And so you can simply do is that you can simply just use the null values to just quickly check if there are null values in that particular column, and then you bring them out at once, all right? And so what I'm going to write a query for this is select all right, from the marketing database, all right, so in finding our values also we use a where clause, all right? So the where clause is something you are going to be getting used to almost every single time, all right? Because if you need specific information, like I've explained, we use a where clause, all right? And in this particular case, we need specific information, we need null values, all right? We need data, and we need the people, the columns, the rows with null values, all right? And so now that I say this, let's say I don't want to use this, I want to use this and check if there are null values here, or this to see if there are null values in this particular column, all right? So I'm going to say select all from marketing where gender, all right, where gender is now. So this is how you write the query, all right? So you are selecting everything from the table, from the marketing table, where the column that you are basing your search on is now, all right? the column you are basing your search on. And so you could be basing your search on this column, you could be basing your search on this column, on this column, on this, on this. So whichever column you are basing your search on, you put that here, and then it's now. So that is what I've written. So select all from marketing, where gender. So now I'm basing my search on this. So where gender. So when there's a now value here, I need the result, I need a return. All right, I need a return if there's a now value in this column. All right, this select all from marketing where gender is now, and I'm going to copy this, I'm going to highlight this, excuse me, and I'm going to execute, and this is giving me nothing. So what this simply is doing is it's telling me that there's actually no item in the gender column that is now. It means every single item in the gender column is actually filled with something. All right, so it means there are no now values in this particular column. In this column, not all the column, because we realize that there is a column with now values, but because our search is being based on gender, and gender has no now values, is giving us this. All right, so let's go back. Now let's use this. Now you can practically see that there are now values in the time to first load column. All right, so let's say now we are basing our search on time to first load, and we are basing our search based on this particular column. All right, if you are saying select all for marketing where time to first load, which is this column, is now. Now the previous one we used gender, I realized that there was no now values, but now we are using this, and we can see from here that there are actually some now values. All right, so let me highlight this and execute, and this is going to show you that all of these items in this database or this data set has their time to first load columns now. So you see it's returning it. All right, and if you scroll down, it's going to give you all items that are now based on this particular column. All right, so the underlying word is that based on the column, the where clause is based on a particular column. All right, so you are basing it on a particular column. So that is how the now. So we can also do the same for this. Let's do that as well. You can see some now values in the chat comment. All right, so you can rightfully just do this. Okay, and if you select this, okay, it's going to give us returns. All right, it's going to give us returns, and if we come to the column, you can see that these columns are all now. They are all now. So once you are able to locate this, now you can either just update the columns. We'll talk about update and all that different video, but this video I just wanted to show you how to locate now values and pinpoint now values, all right, from the data set. Now another twist to this is where you want data sets that are not now. All right, there are no now values in that particular data set. It's just the opposite of this. So what you can do, you can say select. So maybe there is a particular column, so maybe this column, all right, this column has now values in them, but I don't need now values. All right, so let's use this time to first load, but I don't need the columns with the now values. I only need the columns with actual figures. All right, so that I can work with. All right, so that I can work with. I don't need those with the now values. I only need my data set to be complete, so columns with actual values. Maybe probably after we just delete those columns with now values, so we don't want to work with them now. All right, and so in that case, what I can do is I can say select all from marketing. All right, select all from marketing where time to first load is not now. So this is how you can use, you don't want any now values, you can just use is not now. All right, so it's just the opposite of now and it's not now. And when we run this or we execute this, you are going to see that these columns are filled. All right, you don't have any items, any now items in the column that we base our search on. All right, and so yes, this is how we can use the now values, the now clause and the is not now clause in SQL to derive informations that we either are looking for that are empty cells or are not empty cells in SQL. All right, and so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video, leave a comment down below if there's something that you want me to brush over. All right, and I'll do that right away. And like I always say, be sure to take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.